the Niger Delta Games. A couple of days ago, the MOC told us that over 60 athletes have been discovered right there in Uyo. And talking about this now, we have the privilege of having the chairman of the Scouting and Mentoring Committee of the Niger Delta Sports Festival, a seasoned Nigerian sports analyst and journalist. Of course, a lot of people know him, famous for bringing up MFM Football Club, Basketball Club, and the athletics team. Talking about Godwin Enakhena, who joins us now on the show this evening from Uyo. Good evening, Mr. Godwin. Of course, good to see you, sir. First time on ADBN Sport. We are so privileged to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Well, it's my pleasure too. Good evening. How are you doing?
Very fine, sir. Very fine, sir. Welcome, sir. So let's get talking, sir. A couple of days ago, sir, of course, Itiako Ikpopo had a news conference in Uyo, and he did reveal that over 60 athletes have been discovered at these games. And your committee, we understand, is charged with scouting and mentoring. So bring us up to speed, sir. Were there additional discoveries after that last news conference? And what is your committee doing post-games? The games have ended now. Bayelsa, they've won. What will your committee be doing to ensure that in the next few years, we can point to a number of these athletes winning medals for Nigeria at international competitions?
Okay, you know what I'm going to do, Sam? I'll start from the last question you asked of me. The Niger Delta Commission, Development Commission, that's the NDDC, has said that emphatically too, that we are moving from the norm, what we're used to. You know, we are good at discovering what happens to the athlete, which is your question, we don't bother. Now, the NDDC is saying we will discover, which we have done, we will nurture, and expose them. A lot of these athletes are going to be put in a pool where we're going to have seasonal, zonal competitions for them, because it's one thing to discover an athlete must compete. When they go through these zonal competitions, they'll be good enough to represent Nigeria, maybe sub-regionally before they go international. So bottom line is, these athletes have been discovered, and I can tell you for free that as of today, when the chairman, the co-chairman of the MOC spoke with you, he was speaking from the standpoint of the competition had just started. But I can tell you authoritatively today, as chairman of the scouting committee, that we have over 600 athletes.
Wow.
I repeat, over 600 athletes. And 90% of these over 600 athletes are under 16. Under 16. Let me say this, and I need you to listen and listen good. The mandate was not to pick athletes who came first, second, third. Out of the 90%, out of the over 600 athletes, 95% of them are under 16. And majority of them came last, maybe fourth or whatever. We're not given an assignment of picking first, second, third. No. If you came first, second, third, and you are under 16, fine, you make our list. But for people be calling about elite athletes, athletes came from wherever, we are not looking at people like that.
Okay.
Our assignment is generation next under 16. So for states who came here with athletes that some person said were over 8, my guy, we are not looking in the direction of old athletes. We are looking for athletes that can replace Blessing of Cadbury, Tobiloba Muson, and Zebrome.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about this pool of 600. And you also mentioned a seasonal competition. How will this really work? Who will fund it? Are they going to be camped somewhere? Who are they competing against? So if you can give us more details. I know you worked a lot of magic with the MFM basketball team, athletics also, MFM football club. Wonderful initiative, of course. So now, this seasonal competition with these 600 athletes, how will it really work? And the plan of the committee surrounding this, of course.
Well, first and foremost, Akwa Ibom State is like Morocco or North Africa in our continent. So in Nigeria, the Niger Delta, remember, this is strictly for the Niger Delta states. Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Rivers. You have Delta State, you've got Ondo State, you have Imo, and of course you have Abia. These are the 9 Delta states region. Now we have, like I said, if you say tomorrow, let us have a competition, Akwa Ibom is more than ready. So what we'll do is, first and foremost, we are going to have coaches trained. We're going to train the trainers. And these coaches will be the ones from this pool of athletes that we have picked from. We have 17 sporting events. We have scouted 99% of these sporting events, and the talents abound. For instance, in football, we have over 300 in football on the system. In athletics, we have over 100. I mean, and we used to see them and say, we've got talent, Nigeria has got talent, Nigeria is a blessed country. And we thought it was just one of those things. But the truth is, you have realized in Akwa Ibom in Oyoye that truly Nigeria is a blessed country. So all these athletes are going to have camping somewhere. It could be Akwa Ibom, it could be Imo, it could be Abia, it could be anywhere. Where it's good. I talked about regional competitions where it was okay. This is the pool. We have 15 wrestlers, for instance. We get someone. I was at one of the games, wrestling precisely, and I saw a coach from Cuba who was seated there, and I had an interview with him. He said he's in Nigeria to make a difference. These are the kind of coaches we assign to these athletes. For instance, wrestling. We have discovered them. You have seen their mistakes while they were wrestling. I'll give you an example. A young athlete came here, and through the NDDC that will be funding what we're talking about now, this young girl got, because all the athletes that came here were kitted by the NDDC. All of them. That's the truth. No state put 1 naira in all of this. Transportation, feeding, all the athletes were paid allowances daily, and these monies were paid directly to these athletes from the NDDC. So camping will take place. They might be going outside of Nigeria. It's not going to be restricted to Nigeria.
Awesome.
This is the assurance that will be given outside of Nigeria. And let me bust your bubble. The best of the best might be going to the Commonwealth Games, not to participate, but to have first-hand experience of what it looks like at the Commonwealth Games. And this will be funded by the NDDC.
Wow, awesome. Well, you just answered part of the next question I had in mind, which is the international exposure for these athletes and all of that. And that would be nice to see the NDDC, of course, funding the camping and the movement of some of these athletes abroad to gain exposure. I mean, the football athletes, for instance, I was quite thrilled. Over 300. We are looking for the next JJ Okocha. I know that part of your committee, you had Victor Ikpeba, Samson Siasia with you right there. Now, we'll be looking for the next JJ Okocha. In that 300, can you beat your chest and say, we have potential next JJ Okocha in that 300?
I speak authoritatively here. From what I saw, I saw Team Imo. I saw Team Abia. I mean, I was thrilled. I was excited. I saw kids who were playing football, making those schoolboy errors. But if only they can be nurtured. The potential, fantastic. But the NDDC hierarchy have said to me directly that these kids that we have discovered will not be abandoned. It will be, we have competitions all over Nigeria. You know that very well. We have festivals everywhere. But this is going to be uniquely different. I said to you, the tennis scout, Francis Sule, he said to me, he said he has found the new Funke Oshinaike.
Wow, awesome.
He has found the new
Aruna
Aruna
Quadri. Yeah.
I'm telling you. So it's not just about football. It is all sports.
Yeah, I'm quite thrilled about that. I mean, I'm looking at the list of the scouts and the mentors. You look at the legendary Mary Oyali, Yusuf Ali, Gabriel Okun for athletics. So hopefully, when next in the next few years, potentially Los Angeles for the Olympics. We look at the Commonwealth Games also in Scotland. Hopefully, we're able to get some of these athletes and point to them that they emerged from the Niger Delta Sports Festival. Now, tough question now. Of course, Mr. Godwin. A couple of days ago, we saw Favour Ashe running for Team Delta. A lot of us were shocked. I know that you weighed in on the platform, but millions of Nigerians watching now didn't have the opportunity. And a lot of them are also asking questions. National team athlete Favour Ashe, why is he running at the Niger Delta Games? There was a volleyball player who was a national team player, was disqualified. Team Akwa Ibom in football, they were stopped from playing the final because they had league players in their team. Why was Favour Ashe allowed to run? And what is your committee, which I also expect will be making some recommendations, and we can also mention some of those recommendations. What are some of those recommendations you'll be making in addition to the Favour Ashe question to the MOC and the LOC ahead of the next one, which we expect will be in 2027?
Well, you see, there's one challenge we have. They've said this over time, and of course, it's not going away. That if you want to hide a secret from the black man, put it in a book.
In a book, yeah.
Every state, the 9 participating Niger Delta region teams had the rules of this particular festival. Number 1, which is the most important, says you have to compete for your state of origin. And that if you are from Anambra State, for instance, you cannot compete for Anambra if you are not staying in Anambra. So the volleyball player, being national, it wasn't because the volleyball player is a national team player.
Okay.
You know, some of those people didn't know that because you're not studying the rules. The rules also said you have to be under 25. He was above 25. People didn't even look at that. They didn't even check all of that. So it's just wanting to say, okay, no, he was not disqualified because he's a national team player, because the rules did not say national team player cannot play. Or cannot participate. Let me go to Ashe Favour. Ashe Favour has been in this country for close to 2 years. Or even more. Do you understand? And he's under 25. And Pete has been in this country for close to 2 years, no more. He had issues outside of Nigeria and came back to Nigeria. He's been training, he's been participating in different competitions. The Niger Delta Sports Festival is not strictly for underage persons. It is under 25. It means that if you are 24 plus, you can compete, you can participate. So Favour came, and listen to this very well, Sammy. Tell your listener, tell your viewer. My job as chairman of the scouting team was told in specific terms. We are looking for under 16. Yeah. We did not scout Favour Ashe. We didn't even look at his direction. We also did not look in the direction of those who came first, second, third, and the scouts considered them as too old. We didn't touch them. A lot of commissioners of sports, DGs and everybody, they've been talking to me. And I said, people brought over age and blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, do you know the winner? The winners are states who came with underage. In loose term now. If you came here and your athlete is under 16, I was talking to the Cross River State Commissioner of Sport. And I said to her, I said, madam, look at the players athletes that have been scouted. I flipped Cross River. I flipped again Cross River. I flipped again Cross River. I flipped again the book Cross River. She was very, very happy. I said, look at this particular sport. That person who came first is from Soso State. We did not pick that person. Your athletes came last. We picked her. You know why? Because we see potential. So Ashley cannot be one of those we are looking at.
Okay.
We know what we are looking at. It is for the benefit of the states to come here, and this is a window for them to, the talent that God has given to them to show the world that I am talented. It's not just about discovery. Like I said before, we are going to, through the Niger Delta Commission, Development Commission, do a lot, something different that's never been done before. Athletes come here. The very day they came, they all got sanitary pads.
Wow.
The first day they came here, they ate 3 times a day. They were fed 3 times a day. Every athlete, 3 times a day. Every state was given millions of naira to prepare their athletes to come here. Everything that came here, the NDDC provided transportation for them to come here. Yesterday, all the athletes that came here, all of them, over 3,000, got allowances paid to them. We asked for their account details and we paid to them directly. It's never been done before. It's unprecedented. And we have seen over 600 truly young players. You can tell a player that is young. You can tell an athlete who is young. You can also tell an athlete that is old. We know, like I said, Ashton Favor did not break any rule, but unfortunately, he's not one of those we are scouting. He's not one of them. But I don't even look at them. We know those that we are looking at, and by the grace of God, what NDDC has started through the Niger Delta Sports Festival will endure.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Mr. Godwin. Of course, maybe just finally, time never appears when we talk sports. 1 or 2 recommendations that your committee will be giving to the LOC and the MOC ahead of the next edition, which we understand should be in 2 years' time, as it will be bigger and better than what we had in Uyo in 2025.
Number 1, reorientate the states. The Commissioner of Sport, the Director of Sport, the coaches, tell them the disadvantage of doing what some of them are doing. You not eradicate it, but we'll do everything humanly possible to do it better. Maybe stricter measures. You know that, for instance, give me 2 examples. Abia, Edo, and one other state that did not come with particular sporting event. The rule says disqualify them. The whole state would have been disqualified. But we decided to, the commissioners pleaded, Edo State, Abia State, they begged. We said, okay, you know what we're going to do? The money you were given to prepare this particular basketball team that you didn't prepare, you are returning that money. You will pay it as a fine. That's one of the some of the things. So we're going to be stricter to ensure that we have something better than what we had this year. It's just the beginning. It's always like this.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, sir, for your time on the show this evening. Such a delight talking to you, of course. Godwin Enakhena, Chairman of the Scouting and Mentoring Committee of the Made in Niger Delta Sports Festival. 2 years' time, I know it will be bigger and better than this. So do enjoy the rest of your evening, sir. And of course, hope to see more of MFM sporting-wise. I know there is an athletics event coming up shortly in Lagos. That should be tomorrow. I know some of the athletes, of course, will be part of that. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, Godwin Enakhena. Okay.
I'm also the chairman of Sporting Lagos.
Oh, awesome.
So don't forget that.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
Sporting is also there. So first and foremost,
okay, go on, sir.
First and foremost, don't forget to tell them that I am a practicing sport journalist.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
number 1. Every other thing is second.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, hopefully Sporting Lagos also will be back. Your media officer, David, is doing a great job. Of course, he's doing a great job. Hopefully Sporting Lagos will be back in the MPFL as soon as possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. God bless you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, sir. Godwin Enakhena, of course, a famous sporting journalist, actually. I grew up listening to him and watching him on TV and listening to him on radio, of course, alongside the legend also, Charles Anazolo. Imowe is in our studio in New York. Let me just get a quick take from Imowe as we prepare to wrap up this evening. Imowe, Of course, I know you did enjoy the interview. Just quick take from you, some of the things that Godwin and I had to say on the show this evening.
Like the interview should not come to an end. I mean, I really love everything Mr. Godwin was saying, and of course, it clearly shows that this man is an astute sport, journalist, and even a sport administrator as well. And to a large extent, I'm happy that the Niger Delta Sport Festival, organizing committee decided to give this man, that responsibility of, being started with the responsibility of scouting this athlete. And I must tell you, and from what he has said, I believe that the future of Nigeria in terms of sport is really bright, and I really hope that all the beautiful things that he has said and the Niger Delta Sport Festival Committee, of course truly sponsored by the NDDC, will be able to go through with all the recommendations that he's going to be given. And to all the athletes that have been discovered during this competition, 600 of them, I wish them the very best, and trust me, Sammy, there is nothing more that will make me more happy than to see at least a half of them, or even all of them, go ahead to in different international events, and of course even go ahead to win laurels for Nigeria. That will also goes to tell us that the Niger Delta Sports Festival was not just the usual sports festival we have been seeing across the country, that this time around it was truly a different sports festival from what we have been seeing. And I'm very excited, and I can't wait for the second edition of the tournament, and I look forward to seeing these athletes at the top of their respective careers.